Hello everybody, I'm back at it again with another Salamangreat profile for the online format. So I've been testing a lot, and I think this build is pretty good. Definitely could use some work, but that's what I found a lot of success with, and I'll explain why. And I'll explain a little bit about the theory behind this deck. So first things first, you need hand traps. This format, Adamantipator can play through three hand traps. To be honest, they've played through three hand traps against me, but you still need them sometimes when they have awkward hands, or if you know when to hand trap them, where to get the most value of them, you can't stop them. And they're pretty good against other matchups. Ash is just crazy because you can recur it. Effect Veiler is pretty good. I'm playing two and one impermanence, because that's what I have in real life. And I think Yu-Gi-Oh will be starting up soon. So I'm testing out like my real deck. Three Phantasmes. I've gone a lot on side deck, playing two. Three just seems right. It's very helpful. Very few times I can't summon him. But I was playing three Phantasmi and three Nibiru, but they were so dead at so many points. But Nibiru was a little more dead against like Altergeist and just slower matchups. So I cut Nibiru down to two, kept Phantasmi at three, as we're working out pretty well. And then the one Ghost Ogre. I think one is perfect. You always find some way to use it. If you know how to use her right, you can get a lot of advantage over her. Next are your additional pushers, as I like to call them. It's kind of like push through boards, and they can pretty much make access code by themselves and any other card, or by themselves. They can make access code, and with another card, they can make the update jammer access code combo. So yeah, Parallel Exceed, Lady Debug, Gazelle, your strongest cards. These make OTK. Any two combination of them is a good hand. Mir helps a little bit out with awkward hands, and it just has a lot of little utility. Believe it or not, I never thought I would play this, and I started testing it out. Mirrors actually comes in clutch, helps you play the Nibiru, helps you play awkward hands when you draw Debug and Jaguar and Falco or something like that. Its effect to add off can come up a lot. It helps you like if you're like top decking and you top deck a Debug, you usually can't add anything good. Maybe a Spinny, maybe a Foxy. But you add Mirror and you summon it, that's two monsters that can get you to the access code. Just because Debug has another good target, it just comes up. I think it'll be standard. If people actually catch on, maybe it'll get cut, but it's been helping me out a lot. Like you guys should try it. Three minings because it gets you to Debug and Gazelle and Circle. Those are your main power cards. And let's see here, you got seven ways to get to Gazelle, eight including the actual Gazelle, and Parallax is just so strong. We're playing two Foxy. I was cutting it to one, then it would get banished too much. It's really good. It helps with floodgates. It helps as additional normal summon when you don't see your debug. Gets you your will sometimes. So Foxy is nice. I think two is perfect right now. Jack, two is perfect. Sometimes you banish it off Desire, sometimes it gets banished, but this card is so broken. Recycles or Wolves. Spinny, I think two is fine. I've seen them play three. You can make an argument for three, but I think two is just perfect. One Falco, most underrated card in the salad deck. You guys should abuse this every turn if you can. Two Desires, because I always see Desires for some reason. Two Will, the Brick, one Imperm. I'll probably play three Imperm if I had them, but this is working pretty good because of Phantasme, so it doesn't conflict too much. Two Rage, because Rage is the best trap. Gives you takes your opponent two cards most of the time for just one card. Whereas in Roar is just a one for one. But arguably, Roar could be better because the counter trap. And one Monster Reborn. And then for the side deck, so it's pretty basic. Third Nibiru and a Breakatops for going second. Nibiru is really good against a lot of decks, and sometimes you just need it against that Emancipator, even if they got the negations. Like Nibiru and Ghost Ogre can play through Appaloosa. Nibiru Effect Veiler can play through Appaloosa. Sometimes Nibiru and Phantasme can play through Appaloosa, but a lot of people will actually let the Phantasme go through, fearing that you have a Nibiru. Two Cosmic. The deck deals pretty good with back row decks. Excuse me, especially with Rage. But sometimes in games two and three, having those two cyclones really helps out. Mega Trover going second. This just breaks boards, helps you break board. They have to negate it. 3 evenly, which helps out for control and combo matchups. So I usually always had these in. And then goes in match. I didn't like it in the main deck. The side deck I found it to be perfect. Brought it in against the matchups that it did matter. Always put it in against Animancipator. You just try to lock them into Needle Fiber or something they don't play a lot of. Like if they do Needle Fiber, summon Oline, flip it there, you'll be pretty good. Order for Sky Strikers, for Necros, any spell deck. Shadalls is just broken. As you can see, I'm playing 3 1-ups. These cards are 1-ups because they're super powerful. And then Roar. Sometimes you just want to see the traps going first. If I know I'm going first, I'll take out some hand traps, like maybe a Phantasme or two, maybe a Ghost Ogre, depending on the matchups, and put in Roars. Another thing about Veiler can help you play through like Dinko Sekka and stuff. So sometimes when you're siding, you really gotta think things like that through. Like if you have Veilers and you're fearing a Dinko Sekka, and like Necros plays Dinko Sekka, you want to keep this, maybe side out the Phantasmes because you know they'll link summon, and put in like summon limits, order, roar. So it's just things like that. Like all hand traps have use against matchups, but some are just way better than others. And sometimes you swap out the traps for the hand traps depending on going first and second, and that makes the deck a whole lot more powerful. Because these one Exceed with any of these gets you into a rank 4, and then you draw a Floodgate. That game you usually win. And then if you draw the Roar to protect the Floodgate, going first usually pretty easy, especially with a little bit of hand traps backing you up. Like if you drew an Ash, a trap, and one of your like starters, you're so set. Extra deck should start looking standard by now. Only argument you can make is the trap trick, except with the Baguska, and you're adding the trap card. Grave Trigger's trap hole, I think. But I found that to not be so good. If you're just trying to play through Nibiru, you can just skillfully play through Nibiru. Like it's this deck is more about playing through Nibiru. Like sometimes you'll have mining and jack and like trap and no extenders, and like sometimes people will mine at the jack and they'll get ashed and they'll have no place. Like you gotta play through hand traps the best way possible. So I think Baguska is just better. It lets you not commit so much of your hand to the board. Like if you go debug exceed, you get Baguska and you keep Gazelle in hand. In case they Nibiru you, you can play with Gazelle. And I think Baguska is just better. I usually set it up before Dweller. Usually turn one I always go Baguska because I don't know what deck they're playing. And then it comes back to my turn and I'll make Dweller. Kind of keep them in like an oppressed game state, especially with my Salamangreat traps. And then after the two Xyz that just help you lock it down, you gotta play the standard 8 Salamangreat. Low key, I've been thinking of cutting Heat Leo. Um, I don't know. I haven't summoned it that much to be honest, but I've been thinking maybe two Pyro Phoenixes. I haven't tested it. I think it could be something new. But 8, you should play the standard 8. Alright. Linger Rebo. You gotta play Linger Rebo. I was thinking of cutting it for Phoenix. Because sometimes floodgates do come up and I just need the Phoenix. But its dark typing is very important. Sometimes I just make it on the way of making access code. So I have the additional pop. And then Splash Mage. Splash Mage is amazing because it's water and it makes most of your cards into one card access code. Not with the OTK, but just into access code like Spinny, Jack, Debug, Gazelle, sometimes even Foxy on their own. Thinks the Splash Mage can go into access code. Transcode, what makes the access code so easily to make. And sometimes if you play it right, like you don't have to go transcode into access code. Like you can use like a wolf and a splash mage to summon the access code co-link to your transcode, and even though it'll have less attack, it'll be protected from Veiler, Imperm. So sometimes it's really crazy that you can not use the transcode and still have a protection effect for access code. Update Jammer, this one makes transcode so broken. This one make access code so broken. Like Update Jammer just makes these two so crazy. Sometimes I don't even summon access code if I'll just have Wolf, Trans, and Update, and I know that's lethal. I won't summon Wolf. I won't summon access code because I don't need to. Like that's just playing into Nibiru. So you just gotta play conservatively with this deck, try to get the most out of your cards, and then go into access code. Because access code just clears the board. This changed the whole deck. Like now that we don't have Stalio, access code is just makes the deck so aggressive. And Salamangreat abuses it the best, to be honest, because of update jammer, because of transcode. And yeah, this has been the profile. Let me know what you guys think. Maybe I'm gonna upload a couple duels. I've been grinding a little bit on the ladder. If you all have any questions, any suggestions, let me know down below. I want to know if y'all watch this for Salamangreat. Like, I want to know which people of y'all watch my videos for the Salamangreat profile, because I don't think a lot of y'all do. But let me know down below. All right, y'all. Peace.